Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and press the like button. So anyway, I came across this very interesting video, and I want you to take a look at it first, then we talk about it.
Кх-22 летить швидкістю 4000 км на годину. Вона заходить на свою ціль здебільшого по балістичній траєкторії, падає вниз. Є різні там варіанти застосування цих ракет, але зазвичай завершує вона свій політ як балістика. Тому її перехоплювати потрібно спеціальні засоби. Зрозуміло, що потрібні такі системи ППО, як Петріот. Тому з цими ракетами не так просто. Понад 300 ракет це застосував противник з часу повномасштабного вторгнення. Крім Х-22, в них ще є модернізована версія цієї ракети, Х-32. І, ймовірно, сьогодні теж застосовувались і такі ракети, там дещо покращені в неї характеристики, але їх менше, ніж ракет Х-22.
А з цих 300 ракет Х-22, Х-32, які були запущені, якийсь відсоток був збитий?
Ні,
взагалі не було, так?
Не було збито на ворог. Х-22 летить швидкістю 4000 км на годину. Вона заходить на свою ціль здебільшого по балістичній траєкторії, падає вниз. Є різні там варіанти застосування цих ракет, але зазвичай завершує вона свій політ як балістика. Тому її перехоплювати потрібно спеціальні засоби. Зрозуміло, що потрібні такі системи ППО, як Петріот. Тому з цими ракетами не так просто. Понад 300 ракет це застосував противник з часу повномасштабного вторгнення. Крім Х-22, в них ще є модернізована версія цієї ракети, Х-32. І, ймовірно, сьогодні теж застосовувались і такі ракети, там дещо покращені в неї характеристики, але їх менше, ніж ракет Х-22.
А з цих 300 ракет Х-22, Х...
So I didn't know that it looped, so sorry. So the Kh-22, what is Kh-22? So this is Kh-22 that was being mentioned by this Ukrainian official. According to Lord Babel, he said that this is Yuri Ignat, whom is a colonel of the command of the Air Force of the Ukraine. So he's the colonel in the command of the Air Force. So he's a Ukrainian Air Force officer. So he said that there is not a single Kh-22 that was shot down in the entirety of the war, because it flies at 4,000 kilometers per hour, and it goes in a ballistic trajectory. And this is a Kh-22, but Kh-22 is actually an anti-ship missile. So I wonder if it is able to be diverted to attack ground target, I guess. So there is mentioned in this wiki talking about it being used against ground targets, but that is claimed by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And then he also mentioned about this Kh-32, which is actually an air launch version, and for this is an air to surface missile, so it doesn't necessarily need to hit a ship. And I believe that while it could be a case where it's a mistaken identity, because the Ukrainians like to say, the Russians use S-300s to shoot at the cities, which makes no sense to me, at least for me. And it could be a mistaken identity where the Kh-32 was fired and then they say the Kh-22. So that put into question, because this video becomes very, very controversial, because they claim that just a 4,000 kilometers per hour missile cannot be shot down. Then what happened to Kinzhal? So you see this Ukraine battle map, or Ukraine _ map, which have devolved into a pure propaganda Twitter account. Unfortunately, the previous owner was actually a very, very nice guy. I talked to him before, but this guy is crazy. So anyway, he said that 100% of the Kinzhal was shot down, and this is particularly weird, because if you look at the Ukrainian Air Force information, am I able to switch to a different one so that you can see? So you can see that in their reports, Kinzhal was totally not mentioned. They did mention Kh-47, So yeah, so they mentioned Kinzhal, they shot down 10 Kinzhal. Okay, so that is a Ukrainian Air Force claim. So I have nothing to say about it. I previously did not see it. I think this was post. Yeah, I didn't see this. I was looking at all these things. So anyway, yeah. So okay, then the Ukrainians successfully shot down 10. So anyway, this is totally believed. This claim is entirely believed by let me switch to entirely believed by a lot of these experts. And so like for example, Jan Calvert, who is a cyber defense com, or probably cyberdefense.com, talked about this. Someone who is a lot more credible than this Ukraine map, claiming that the Patriot missiles is going to benefit, because they are tracking the trajectory and the systems of Kinzhal, and they'll be able to defend it better despite it already shot down 10 of them. And it does put into question, how do you shoot down 10 of the Kinzhals? And because if you cannot shoot down slower the Kh-22 or 32 or the 32, how do you shoot down a Kinzhal? This logic don't make a lot of sense to me. And how do you actually track and intercept selectively? That is also a question to me, because when the Russians launched this massive airstrike, as you can see from this, they claim that they have shot down over 70 missiles. And you can see the number of missiles, cruise missiles, that was claimed to be shot down. How do you actually track this many missiles? I do have my doubts. I do have my doubts. So there is this footage that claimed to be a Kinzhal failing, and
Yeah.
so I can show you bigger again.
Yeah.
So some people claim this is actually a Kinzhal, and then after that, it was by the pro-Russian side, they claim that this is actually a Patriot. But this, so eventually what was shown is that this is actually Iris-T. So apparently this Iris-T basically used up all its fuel and then it fell down. So you can see that based on the silhouette, it's actually resembles this. I cannot independently verify if this is the case, because ultimately it's a blur footage. But yeah, Kinzhal don't drop like this because there was a footage of Kinzhal appearing. So this is Kinzhal. So and you can see so this footage is speed up a lot, because you can the video is so fast. There's basically no way to see it in a meaningful way. You can see the entire missile is actually orange. You can see this entire orange. The reason is because at hypersonic speed, the entire missile will just heat up. Due to air resistance, the entire missile will just become some kind of a plasma. Plasma will form around this missile, and the entire thing will just burn up. So at this incredible speed, you can see that given the number of frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So typical video is around 24 frames per second. We have only 6 seconds, so that is super fast. So 6 seconds. Let's see. 6 divided by 24. That is a quarter of a second. That distance is probably 2 kilometers. A quarter of a second for 2 kilometers. So 1 second can do 2 times 4, 8 kilometers per second times 60, 480 kilometers per minute times 60, 28,000 kilometers per hour. So does Kinzhal actually fly that fast? I have no idea. So 3,400 meters per second. So 3.4 kilometers per second. That is actually a very close to my rough. Actually, it's not super close, but close enough, because we're talking about 6-7 frames. So you go back to here. So we talk about this is here. So this is 2 kilometers for in a quarter of a second. So this is how I roughly measure. I can't be wrong. So it is definitely in the speed of a 3.4 kilometers per second kind of speed. You know, the Kinzhal. So this Kinzhal is this missile here. This Kinzhal. So this is legitimately fast, and in this video, this definitely is legitimately fast, and of course, this data that is on Wikipedia, this is actually what they understood. There could be a possibility that the actual speed is actually way faster, like how I calculated. It could be even faster than that. So especially this is actually at the end part of its trajectory, which is probably at its fastest. So because it's hitting target, and you can see how fast it is and how big the explosion is ridiculous. And so this Kinzhal. So for me to imagine hitting this thing, I can't imagine, to be honest. I really can't imagine how a Patriot can hit it. But no, of course, the Pentagon already claimed that they had shot down a Kinzhal all the way in May 10th, in earlier last year, around half a year ago. They claimed that it shot down. Imagine this kind of missile trying to hit. I do not know. I have my serious doubts. But anyway, this is the story. And you can see that that was on the 10th. On the 17th, they're still arguing whether, you know, if it actually happened. And so Kiev Post wrote a very long article arguing, you know, looking at all the information coming from all the different sources, including the Ministry of Defense of United Kingdoms. They look at ISW, you know, all these things, and of course the Russian Defense Ministry, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and they also look at the Russian Defense Ministry's statements. But they claim that the Russians are just coping. They say that Ukraine indeed have shot it down. So, and after the claim of the Ukrainian Defense Ministries claiming that they have shot down 10, Kiev Post, of course, also reported this, that they have shot down 10. And they claim that Putin is definitely embarrassed that this super weapon has basically failed to be a super weapon. And yeah, no, the Kinzhal is not as effective as Putin promised. So the problem with this kind of thing is that if my hypothesis is true that they actually did not shoot down a single Kinzhal, then, you know, these are just propaganda to fool themselves. Fooling themselves is not a problem. The problem is NATO fooling themselves. Then they make a wrong assumption, and then they think that they can go to war against Russia and achieve a easy victory. That is the danger, because in DPA I always talk about, you know, balance of power, and the important thing about balance of power is that it will maintain peace, because two equal powers will unlikely to go to war with each other because they have no confidence of victory. So if you have no confidence of victory, what happens is that two equal powers will just eliminate each other. They will cancel each other out, and in the end, no one wins. Both get devastated, and that's exactly what we see in World War II, where both sides is totally devastated by war, and at the end of it, United States become the superpower along with the Soviet Union, which the war actually helped Stalin, gain full control of the whole country, and revive it in a way that it's become a superpower. Before that, it wasn't a superpower. But we see France, UK, and Germany all totally got cancelled out by each other due to the World War II. So balance of power is very important, and when the propaganda becomes get believed by the people who depends on propaganda. For example, the politicians in the West, in NATO, in United States, in EU, and they really buy into all this propaganda. If my hypothesis is true that they didn't shoot down any Kinzhal, then it makes the world a more dangerous place. This is also why we need to combat fake news, because the fake news give fake assumptions and fake analysis and give fake solutions, and as a result, we will end up worse off of it. So this is the reason why we shouldn't we shouldn't take this kind of information for granted, or to believe it is what it is probably not what it is, because if it's so easily to be shot down and to be destroyed, then the Russians will have zero reasons to invest in it. So and then of course that comes to the same the same question I was talking about. How can they not shoot down a Kh-22 that's flying at a way slower speed? Because we're talking about 5,600 kilometers per hour, 5.6 kilometers per hour. A Kinzhal flies that speed in 2 seconds. That took 1 hour. This took 2 seconds. So I can't sure up to Mach 10. That's 3.4 kilometers per second. So that's 2 seconds to cover 6 kilometers. Kh-22 need 1 hour to fly that distance. So this is why I say I have my doubts, because it makes zero sense. And even if you look at the advanced version of Kh-32, which is the way faster, which I believe is the one that the Ukrainians are actually facing and not the Kh-22, this one flies also at 5.6 kilometers per hour at a higher speed. So Kinzhal 3.4 kilometers, Mach 10, up to Mach 10. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. I do not know how to tell people no otherwise. So anyway, this is the article which is reporting on just now the video footage that I show you, this one. And it is very, very surreal, because I have been showing you Kiev Post only in terms of these media sources, and they can still report this in a very normal way, but yet just at the same time, this report comes out on the 29th of December, and then 2nd of January they already talking about things that you should know about Kinzhal, that they have shot down 10. So anyway, this is the video. This is the thing I want to talk about. This video, you can look at this video yourself over at the DPA's Telegram channel. DPA's Telegram channel. Do check it out. It's a t.me/Defense Politics Asia. You can come and join and follow me, and you can see all my posts. If you don't want to miss any of the videos on some of my comments, you can actually hang out here, and also do press the like button, subscribe. I see you guys in the next update.